Hello and welcome to Community Conversations. I'm your host, Fremont Unified Superintendent Kim Wallace, sitting in for KK Kaneshiro. The Advancement via Individual Determination, or AVID program, is a college readiness system designed to increase the number of students who enroll in four-year colleges and universities. AVID is an improved elective course taken during the school day at FUSD high schools. In class, AVID students learn organizational and study skills, focus on critical thinking, learn to ask probing questions, and get academic help from peers and college tutors. AVID targets students in the academic middle who are willing to work hard in college preparatory classes instead of remediation. Here to tell us about their AVID experiences, we have a student here from Kennedy High School, and she will go ahead and introduce herself.
Hello, I'm Miriam Karimi, and I'm a junior in John F. Kennedy High School. I've been part of AVID from middle school, and it has been 5 years that I'm part of this program, and it's something that I will not regret.
How did you get involved in it? So were you in middle school or junior high at Walters before Kennedy?
Yes.
So how did you learn about AVID and start at such a young age?
I came to the United States and I went to 7th grade in Walters Junior High. There, the first year of my middle school was really good, and my English teacher, who really helped me learn the new language, she was an AVID teacher too. And my sister went to high school in John F. Kennedy, and she told me a little about AVID program and how her teacher wanted her to be in that program. And since I've always had like the aspirations of going to college and being the first person from my family to go to college, I was really interested into this program. I went to my English teacher and I asked her if I could be in this program, and she told me if I was sure, and I said I was. I got into the program in middle school, and yeah.
Oh, that's a great story. Very inspiring. So when you arrived in the United States, did you have any background in English? Had you learned anything in Afghanistan?
Yes. Before that, we immigrated to Iran, another country that is neighboring to my country, which is Afghanistan. And there, unfortunately, the immigrants were not allowed to go to school, so I could never go to a public school. So my mom taught me how to read and write at home with my mom was a teacher, like a school that we built inside our house, and all the other children like me who were illegal, basically, because we ran away from the war, couldn't go to school there. But when I came back to Afghanistan, it was still really bad, the war, and everything was really unsafe. So I could never really go to like a school I went to school, but the situation was really hard that we had to skip school and change a lot. But at the same time, I was really interested in reading, so there was a library close to my house that I went there, and for the first time I got an English book, even though I didn't know how to read it, or I didn't know, like I couldn't understand it. I started reading the book and looking at the pictures. The first time I read it, I didn't understand anything. Sure. But later, by more practice, and I kind of self-taught myself how to learn English, and there were some other people who helped me, like my family members, my mom and dad. But when I came here, I knew, like I understood what people were talking about, but everything, the whole society and culture was so different that I had to fit in and find my way. And I think AVID had a big part in that.
That's amazing. What a story. So tell me about why AVID helped you grow as a student. What did it provide for you? Was it specific lessons or skills, or just the overall attitude of the other people who are in the program? Tell me about why it helped you so much.
Yes, since I actually didn't go to a real school and didn't have really the skills to know, I didn't have a binder and I didn't know how to like put my papers in and stuff. And I said that if I be in this program, I think I can have like more organization skills and getting to like learn the actual way that I should like try to study, because I know that I've gone through so much, but that does not mean that I should stop and not try hard. So when I was started by something that really makes me love AVID. In 8th grade, after the first or second week of me being in an AVID program, we had a project. It was a service learning project. And we did this project based on like something that we were really passionate about. And we should find like an issue in the society that we really felt passionate about. And then we would write like research about it, write an essay.
And what topic did you pick?
Well, I picked war because
it was relevant to you, right?
And I picked war and education for children because those were the things that really like I could connect to, because as a child I couldn't get a good education because of the war, and I really believe that like a society should invest on their children and their education. Well, I didn't have that privilege. So I didn't want, like, I know that now I was lucky enough to come here, and now I don't want other kids to go through what I went through. So I chose education for children, and I shared my own personal story with my little group. And at first my group was not really, because it was like a competition that which group has the best presentation. And it was actually the first time that I spoke out about myself and my background to the school. And when I shared my personal stories of how I went through so much in the war and my education and everything, and one of this places in Afghanistan, a relief organization that really helped me, so I picked that organization and I wrote an essay about that. When I presented my presentation or essay to the class, everyone was like so emotional, and it was the first time that they were it was the first time that they heard someone's experience like that. And they were so passionate about it, and they were like, we need to do something about your cause. And we got together.
So you motivated other people.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
This class of middle schoolers who don't really care a lot.
Yes.
They were so passionate about my story that it really made me like really feel special somehow. And we started a project in school. It was, well, I started it. It was students versus teachers basketball game where everyone would come and buy tickets to the game. And my teacher said that I should present my presentation once again for the school. I wasn't expecting, like, almost the whole school was there, and everyone bought tickets, and everyone was so passionate that they are helping children in the Middle East or somewhere in the world. And we raised about $2,000, and we donated it to the school that I went to.
Oh, wow.
And they were able to buy, I don't exactly know the number, but books, English books for little children.
So the one book you had, the one English book you had, you were able to just have that grow exponentially for the other children who were there.
Yes. That really inspired me, and I loved the idea of that. I did a fun, like, I always felt like I should do something for them to like, because I felt like I could never run away from my past. And it will always, like, sometimes I would watch the news and it would really make me sad. But like AVID was a way that I could, like, you know, speak out for myself and just have others like feel for other people, you know, take them out of their bubble. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. So what are your, AVID is supposed to help students get ready for their career or their college experience. So you said that you had already been motivated earlier on, that you knew you wanted to go to college. So tell me about how has AVID helped you to help figure out what career path or what school you might want to go to?
Yeah, at first I had the motivation to go to college, but I didn't really know how to.
Sure.
And my older siblings who came here and they went right into high school, they did not even apply to college because they did not know. I don't think like regular students that are not involved in AVID will get all that instruction and all that extra push to think about like college applications for college. So when I got into this program, like I've been thinking about and planning like my careers and what I want to do and which college I want to go from 9th grade. So it like every day the things that we do like planning, writing our goals, just like reflecting on everything that we learn and everything that we do on a daily basis, that really helps me like set goals. Every time like I check out like those boxes that I accomplished this goal of like reading like 10 pages, we have the long-term goals that I've checked off many of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what are some of those? Tell me about what your long-term goals are.
My long-term goals for after, I want to go to a 4-year university. Right after high school. Also, I want to get my bachelor's from a UC and then go into medical school.
Medical school. Okay, I was wondering what path you were thinking about because you could be a public speaker. You're very poised. Clearly you love reading and expressing yourself, so I think you probably have the world open to you, whatever you want to do.
Thank you. I got my inspiration for going to the medical. First of all, I had a lot of things. I wanted to be a journalist, I wanted to be a politician, a teacher, and at every point I had like different things.
Yes.
But when I was like 8 years old, my dad, my father, he got injured in a bomb explosion in Afghanistan, and he stayed in the hospital for 3 years. And I would always go and meet him in the weekends, and I would always see like a lot of like other people like him that were disabled, like they lost their, my dad lost his legs and his hearing and sight and everything, but I'm glad he stayed alive. But that gave me, I always, if I go to the medical field, I want to do something for the war victims. Yeah.
Well, we have a similarity there. My dad also fought in a war and became disabled by being hitting an explosion. So we share that. It's a terrible thing, but it sounds like there's a lot of strength still in your family.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, what do you think that is something that you would give advice to somebody who is deciding whether it's worth it to join AVID? So if I'm a student and I'm saying, well, why would I want to do that? Give me a pitch. Tell me why I should join AVID.
Yes, I have. I've encouraged a couple of students to come to our program, and I've convinced them. And I
believe
think that's
probably have.
That's a good accomplishment for me, because one of the people that I convinced to come to the AVID program, her grades went from like D's and F's to like A's and B's, and she sent me a text the other night, and she told me that she used to have D's and F's, but now a B in her report card. It's like kind of annoying her, and that was, I felt really good because I convinced her to go to join AVID. Well, I want to tell someone that if you're determined to succeed, and if you don't want to, regret anything in your life or your high school journey, then they should join AVID, because it helps you get organized. That is all like little parts that some people that come to AVID, they think that it's a lot of work, but those little things are something like the things that like after a while it gets
it makes the work easier, doesn't it? Eventually,
makes it easier. Yeah,
because you have all the organizational skills, you know what the strategies are, and then you're not stressed much, right?
And the notes and everything, they're just the things that you're going to do. You're going to want to do them on a regular basis. Even if you don't have AVID, you are going to do them. So there's a lot of myths about AVID, that it's like it's really hard and everything. But I think it's just that class that supports you, gives you an extra push. And I would tell them that this is like the best place for them to be if they feel like they don't have a voice. And also you find really like a group of like family and friends who you are working through like a common goal of like success. And
that's amazing. You really sold me on it, even though I was already sold on it. But you definitely reinforced why we have AVID in this district and how many students it can help. Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed meeting you tonight.
Thank you.
And
Same
you were
here.
my best first guest. This is my first guest, my first show that I'm hosting. So I will always remember you as somebody who had a great community conversation. And we thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.